My name is Jackie, and I'll be teaching you about colonial punishments. Luckily, I had a few volunteers that will help me in presenting this to you. Trust me, if they knew what they were in for, they would have never signed up at all. The stocks were 2 pieces of wood cut out with 2 half circles in each one. Then the criminal's ankles would go inside 2 of the half circles. The other slab would go on top, and the prisoner would be locked up by the feet. See? She can't get up. They would have to sit in the same spot for the length of time that was commensurate with their crime. But the stocks were not the only colonial punishment. The pillory is one of the well-known punishments. You may recognize it. In this punishment, your head and your arms would go inside the half circles that would make up a circle. Like the stocks, the prisoner would be locked up by whatever was inside the half circle, meaning arms, legs, or whatever, hands or feet. But to make the punishment even worse, onlookers and neighbors were allowed to throw rotten fruits, vegetables, and rocks at the criminal. Poor guy. Now one more time. You may be wondering, did colonial people have jails? The answer is yes, but they did not use the jail the same way we use it today. But like today, a person would be charged a fine depending on what they did. If this person was not able to pay the fine, they would be thrown in jail until they could. Then, if the criminal had a child, the child would be taken away and used as an apprentice for years. The criminal would be tied to a chair with a piece of long rope, and in the chair the criminal would go into the water. The rest of the rope would go up and over a tall pole and down the other side. If the person holding the rope pulled down on it, the criminal would rise out of the water. If the person holding the rope let it loose, the criminal would be dunked into the water. This method would be used repeatedly for the amount of times required, given the severity of the crime. The whipping post is just a tall piece of wood. The criminal would be tied to the piece of wood and then repeatedly whipped, depending on what he has done. Ow! Why are you doing this to me? What did I ever do to you? There's one more punishment, but I'm not going to show it, because if I did show it, I would probably go to jail for the rest of my life. That punishment is called branding. Branding is when you take a piece of metal that has a letter or symbol at the end of it. You put it in fire and wait till it gets hot. Once it is hot, you take it out and you place it on the criminal's skin. That letter or symbol will be there for the rest of the criminal's life. Now, I hope you learned something from this film, but if you did not, watch it again.
An American frigate, a frigate of fame, with guns mounted 40, the Richard by name, was cruising the channel of old England, with a noble commander, Paul Jones was the man. We had not sailed long before we did espy a large 44 and a 20 close by, well manned with bold seamen and plenty of store. They quickly pursued us from old England's shore.